Hello, I bought another reel off eBay, second hand. This time it's a Revo PRM-L. These retail in the UK from eBay for around £175, and I guess that would be something like $200 in the States. This is about 5 years old, the person selling it said. As usual, it's got Swedish engineering written on the reel, and on the box it says made in Korea. So there you go. I'm going to take this apart and clean it because it's particularly dirty. Not sure if you can see all that green tinging on there and around here. And when you get inside the reel, it's really is quite filthy. So I'm hoping that I will have a much better reel at the end of all of this. The first thing I've discovered is that the spool doesn't come out this way, and I'm not really sure why that is, whether that's just something I'm not undoing at the moment, or is designed that way. If I take the adjuster off the side, there's very little movement there. The other thing that's quite interesting is that the bearings aren't inboard the spool. This one is here. And I've cheated slightly. I've already taken this bearing out and had a look at it. And it's fairly fairly dirty, and look, you can see it doesn't spin very well. There's no carry on that, it just stops when you've spun it. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of play in that, so that's probably usable. Inside here it's fairly dirty and green and nasty. So I'm going to have to take this all apart and clean it. I would like to do that on camera, but I don't think I've got the editing skills to put it all together. I've noticed this one's also got a slightly tricky bit here, in that it's got this sort of double plastic piece. I'm assuming that's to create sort of clicking sound as you loosen off or tighten up this spool drag on it. It doesn't work anyway, so it might work at the end of it. So, Revo PRM left hand. It'll be interesting to see what happens to this, whether I can turn it into a good reel. The other thing that's really interesting, I don't know if you can see this, but that's completely free, whereas that's quite jammed up, and I think it's missing a cap off here. So I will take it apart and then get back to you. Well, that was a lot harder than I thought. I'm not sure if it's because the reel had never been serviced or cleaned or anything, but taking it apart was very difficult. I managed to get the spool out, and it did come out the normal way, that way, but it was just jammed in with crud and grime, and it's got a very bizarre setup which I've never seen before on an Abu, but then I'm not a professional. But look, I've taken all of this out. This is very, very dirty and messy. But the piece that I've never seen before is this bearing operation here, which I'm currently soaking in lighter fuel. And that seems to sort of fit in there like that, through the reel, into the body, like that. Which is weird, I've just never seen that before. But anyway, I'm soaking that in lighter fuel, and it seems to be working its magic. Let's see if I can show you a quick demonstration of the bearing. It's been soaking in lighter fuel for about 10 minutes. Can you see that? It's rotating nicely now. Sounds a bit iffy, but if they're not very good, I'll just buy some new ceramic bearings. So let me try and tilt the camera a bit for you so you can see what's going on. There are the bits taken apart I mean. And so the next job will be clean it and put it all back together again and see what we end up with. Try and get all this green muck off. And this is the line roller. Oh blimey, I don't know where that's come from. Have to be a bit careful of that one. But as you can see, it's fairly mucky. Okay, carry on watching. Well, I'm now cleaned and taken the whole thing apart and put it back together again, but it took me ages. There are so many issues within the reel, complicated little bits and bobs. The worm drive was a real pain in the arse. It has a sort of cog on the end of it which looks like it just sits on it, but in fact what it does is you have to take it apart, put it back together again and slide this little pin in. And you can so easily lose that pin, and then there's a little piece at this end that needs pushing in, which is incredibly difficult. But anyway, I've got it working. And it's running quite well now. It's quite graunchy. Might need new bearings, but if it does, I'll just get some ceramics from Revo that I've used before from eBay. So there you go. That's an Abu Revo PRM-L, 35 quid. And I have to say, you take these reels apart and look at the internals and what they're made of, and you know, I don't think they're that good. I take some convincing that the old Swedish made 4601s are better than these reels. I mean, these are much nicer in that they're low profile and they've got this line drive that locks and doesn't move when you're casting out, but that's probably the only advantage. Weight wise, I don't think there's much in it. I've weighed the two of them, and there's very little in it. 4601. I bought a rod for my perch fishing off a fellow member of the LAC, Lure Angling Society, LAS, sorry, Lure Angling Society, and he was somewhat shocked that I was using 406s and not these low profile numbers, but I have to say I don't notice any difference in casting, retrieving, weight of rod and reel or anything. So I think the 4601 probably, well, I know it casts as well as these. So there you go, I've got that for £35, about $45, so shall we say, depending on the exchange rate. It's quite knocked about. I've cleaned the whole thing though, so it's looking a lot tidier. It's a little bit rattly, but that might be the bearings. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm mainly a fly fisherman, but I also like lure fishing, so I do quite a bit of lure fishing, but my main love is fly fishing and fly tying. I might post some fly fishing videos at some point. If you look back across my lists, you'll see some stillwater fly fishing at reservoirs in the UK. Anyway, thanks for watching. Enjoy your fishing.